Hey guys, it's Monday, July 12th, 2021, and it's time for the news. Starting off, as always, we're going to have 3 articles down below in the description. Click into them and read along with me. Guys, a side note to start, my previous production has been removed due to the 10 plus 9 virus. I'm not going to talk about that anymore, probably ever again, and you already know about it. You already have your own opinions on that, so let's get right into it. Guys, I'm going to start today with our middle of the road, not left, not right, but sort of bipartisan article. And this is out of the New York Post. It's going to be our first one down there by Hannah Sparks. Starting, lightning strike kills 18 selfie takers on tourist tower in Jaipur. Now, there's a little video here, but that's not as... It's a separate thing, guys, so don't click on that when you click on the article. But it says there were people on a tower in India, and it was the 12th century fort. They were taking selfies on top of this tower, and a lightning strike came down. Wow, 2,000 people die from lightning strikes every year in India. That's kind of crazy. But, so yeah, we saw, guys, click it, look at it for yourselves, because selfies, you can die taking a selfie. And, you know, I think about stuff every now and then, and selfies are pretty narcissistic. And if you know narcissists, their OG story, guy died staring at himself. Selfies, guys. Be careful when you go to take a picture of yourself and think about, why am I really taking this? Am I taking it to look cool? Because if you are, then it's possibly dangerous. That's just kind of a light one for you guys. I mean, rest in peace to those souls in India that died from a lightning strike taking selfies. Check that one out, guys. I'm going to move on today to a right-wing article for a second here. This is on Bongino. You don't know if you know Dan Bongino. He's a veteran. He's got a goatee and he's got a show. And he started the Bongino Report, and he's Bongino.com. Guys, the article is Socialists in Congress Silent as Cubans Rise Up Against Communist Dictatorship. It's by Matt Palumbo. There's not much to say here, guys, besides the people are protesting in Cuba. Guys, Cuba is a communist regime. It's up there with North Korea, Venezuela, like 1980s Bolivia type stuff. I don't know why, as the United States, we let Cuba exist as like one of the most oppressive countries. It's a sanctioned country, I'm fairly certain. Guys, they're protesting Cuba. We should support Cuba having a democratically elected government. All right, they have universal everything there, but one entity runs a whole country, every aspect of it, it doesn't work good. That's just a fact. I support freedom and liberty. I support voting for your own representatives or voting for your own life. I don't support free willy-nilly voting. Like, you gotta prove you can at least, you know, what is 2 plus 2? It's 4 to vote. Like, you gotta know something. You have to have a brain to vote. Aside from that, guys, Cuba, they're protesting for freedom. If you don't support freedom protests, you need to take a reflective look inside, guys. Also, Cuba would be a great place if you could vacation there. All right, remember, Cuba was part of the United States, guys. It was like Puerto Rico, or like how Guam is now. This was a territory of ours. We took it from the Spanish, who were evil and oppressive. We took other stuff from them too, like Philippines, guys. USA. Thank you, Teddy Roosevelt. We let it slip out of our hands, and what's been there ever since we let the guerrilla Che Guevara kick us out? Fidel Castro, when it's Che Guevara? You gotta don't quote me on that one, because I kind of get my Spanish revolutionaries mixed up sometimes. You know, the Castros rose up there. And let's not forget that these Castro guys, they really were, they hated religion, they hated the LGBTQ community. If you were in revolutionary Cuba and you were known as LGBT, you were gotten rid of. And that's like any of these countries that overthrew and established a dictator government. What's important about this is, yeah, guys, why does as America, we're supposed to be a bastion of beacon of freedom, we let our next door neighbor in the Caribbean, it's like the Animal Farm. Or like a better example would be, oh my gosh, I can't remember. It's Lord of the Flies. Yeah, that kind of is like Cuba. Just too much centralized power there, and it's good that we see people uprising. That's my take. That's just my opinion. Protests in Cuba. Watch out. We might be sending troops there or something like that. A lot of unrest in the Caribbean this week, guys. Moving on to our last article. This is our left-wing article. This is out of The Guardian. Old publication. But here it is. Texas Democrats flee state and bid to foil restrictive Republican voting bill. Guys, Republicans are doing a special session in Texas. And a part of this headline here is that Biden said he stands with the Cuban people. So that's good to see. But what's going on in Texas is they're doing a For the People Act, which is... Sorry. Oh, I might have missed it. So the U.S. Senate stopped the For the People Act. All right, okay, so the Democrats want to pass the For the People Act. Now, I haven't read these laws. I haven't read these bills. Sorry, who is the time to read these bills, dude? They're like 350 pages long. Let's not even get into the fact that like our country was partly built on like understanding the laws that govern you. I'm not even going to crack open that can of worms because this is just a normal thing now. Yeah, this bill is 450 pages long and we're going to vote on it and we have 30 minutes to go over it. It's like not right. But what they're talking about is basically Texas, everyone knows, is overwhelmingly Republican. All right, they're a red state, big and great. Texas, everything's bigger there. And they have like 34 Democrats, so 30-something in their legislature. These guys have to vote legally under Texas law. If they're not there to vote on it, the Texas Rangers is going to come grab them, bring them there, and make them vote. So what are they doing? They're going to D.C. to protest Congress to make them basically step in and do voting laws in Texas. I'm going to be totally, I'm ignorant to this issue of, who can't vote? Who can't vote? You have kids in high school that can vote, guys. You have kids that don't even understand how to, you have people that never paid their own taxes voting. You have people that are mentally, Stephen Hawking level disability, but they're unable to do any cognitive things that can vote, right? So that's democracy. Everyone can vote. I'm not really sure what this angle is. Oh, they're suppressing voters, because anything has to do with the polls is you got to prove who you are. You get one vote. So that's interesting to see that there's this giant thing going on. I just kind of take the hardline approach. Isn't it in the Constitution? I don't know who's if you read the Constitution, go read it. It's not that long. It's not that hard to understand. I'm pretty flippin' flappin' sure that it says voting laws are state laws. I don't know where this idea that the federal government just makes voting laws. I don't know where that came from. That's how it is. That's how they're trying to do it. I oppose long bills. That's my main stance. All right. If the bill says you must be 25 to vote now, period. That's the whole bill. I would support that, just because on the basis that this bill is not ridiculously long and ununderstandable. So that's the news today. Guys, I'm going to bring it back Little summary. Lightning strike killed selfie people in India. Watch out. Rest in peace. Guys, this says socialists in Congress aren't talking about the uprising in Cuba. Guys, it'll be really sad if they try in Cuba without our help, because thousands, hundreds of thousands will just be gunned down by the government. It's sad. That's what happens when you don't have a Second Amendment. But it's good to see Biden standing up to that. Joe Biden is an interesting president so far, as I'm concerned. Because he's said things that are like, what? Why would he say that? Like when he mentioned the Armenian genocide in front of Erdogan, no president has mentioned the Turkish-Armenian genocide. Turkish genociding the Armenians in World War I. No one's mentioned that. But here Joe Biden has mentioned it. Some people might say, oh, he's so old, or he doesn't know what he's talking about, but I don't know. Guys. Let's hope that we can see a free Cuba in our lifetime so that we can go vacation there. And the people there can benefit from trade with us. And medicine. And they don't have to keep restoring cars from like 1955 like they do in Cuba, because they can't import cars for the most part. And finally, and I'm kind of dragging out the summary, Democrats are fleeing Texas to go petition the federal government or something like that, because they don't want this new this new voting law. I'm going to add a quick note to that. There are states that change their voting laws right before the 2020 election. Like in the months leading up to it, they changed those laws, which no one questioned. But now they're changing it after the election. Now everyone's questioning it. What's up with that? That's the news today, guys. Come back tomorrow. More Your Daily News.